Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of Pinfalls. This is Pinfalls Elimination Chamber. I, of course, am John of JohnJustBeat.com and the everyday fan. Joining me, as always, lending his wrestling acumen, who else but Tommy Else?
It's 10 tons. It's 2 miles of steel chain with 4 bulletproof chambers. It's the Devil's Playground. The Elimination Chamber.
Oh, I thought you were talking
take it.
you were talking about your bedroom. How are you today, sir? You ready to jump in? You ready for some good wrestling?
Yes.
What time is this thing on? Like 3 a.m. or something?
I believe it's going to be 3 a.m. our time central out here. So, one thing that's cool for, though, is like kids having sleepovers and stuff, though. Like that's a perfect sleepover night. Get the guys together and everything, stay up for the pay-per-view, don't crash until 6 a.m. when it's over. That'd be cool. Now, for me personally,
for us old guys,
I got work the next day. So,
yeah.
But I will definitely catch it on the replay. But hey, it's fine. You got to remember, a lot of these pay-per-views, well, all of these pay-per-views are, it's the same thing for the poor people in Australia and everything. Like they got to be up at 3 a.m. if they want to see it live. So, and that's for all of them. So,
yeah,
for us to bite it on one or two, I mean, granted, they're going to be all over the world this year, but the time difference won't be as bad, I don't think, as the Australia one that we have coming up here.
It's all about money. And anyway, shout out to Bonnie in Australia. I love you, Bonnie. Former LFL player. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's start off with the tag team, the Universal, United, Undisputed tag team. Got Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and
you sound real thrilled about it.
No, it's just the lengthy title, Judgment Day of Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
Yes. So as far as prediction, and there's no way they're losing the titles at Elimination Chamber to these guys. I will, however, say I am glad that they brought Pete Dunne back to his original character instead of being whatever the hell they were calling him before, Butch, and because I loved his character as Pete Dunne, and then when they made him Butch, I was just like, no, because it's like, how long is he going to have to carry that around before? Because I knew eventually they're going to have to bring him back to that, because he's not going to spend the rest of his career as Butch.
But that's not about Gunther. I hate the name. That's dumb.
I don't know. With him, I think that fits. I think it's okay. But yeah. But anyway, and then Tyler Bate. It's a weird combination. I mean, they're both very good wrestlers. I personally would rather see them fighting each other rather than tagging up with each other. I'm sure it'll be a good match because all participants involved are stellar wrestlers, but just there's no reason to think that they're gonna put the belts on those guys heading into WrestleMania 40.
Well, that's exactly what my opening line was going to be. There's no reason for Judgment Day to lose this match. If they're going to lose, they're going to lose to, I mean, this might be an up and coming tag team, but they're not going to win it in their first shot here. It's just not going to happen. Judgment Day all the way. It'll be a good match.
Yeah, like I said, it will be a good match, and it's just going to be a good showcase for them to really, push them to the limit, and but they're not gonna close the deal on it. But that's
okay. Get it, Rob. And maybe you'll get your wish. Maybe they'll turn on each other, and then we'll get that feud.
Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
Well, we got the women's match. We have Rhea Ripley, champion, defending against Nia Jax.
I swear you don't even watch the television show. It's Nia Jax.
All right. Nia
Jax.
I'll edit that out. Make myself look good.
There's not enough editing in the world to make you look good, buddy.
And I'm too lazy anyway.
Well, this is another easy one. There's no way Nia Jax is winning this. I don't think she should even be in the company at this point, to be honest.
Wow,
I
that's a
mean,
strong statement.
now I don't think I mentioned this on the show. I told you, but I went to a house show just before Christmas in Moline, Illinois, which is
Oh,
out by Iowa.
good Lord.
And on my way there, stopped into a CVS and saw Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler
Oh,
picking up stuff at CVS. And
breaking kayfabe.
well, they came in laughing and they were talking football and stuff. And then I was just checking out, and so I just stopped by and just said real quick, I was like, "Hey, I'm coming to the show later. Looking forward to seeing you guys and stuff." And they're like, "We don't like each other. You didn't, we don't go places. We just happen to show up at the same time." And I was like, "It's all right. I know how it goes. So
Yeah, you're in the biz.
yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm not gonna,
Welcome,
although
Padres.
I did just tell everybody. But either way, but it was, I don't know. That's just made me think of
Well, I
Nia
think
Jax.
everybody pretty much knows at this point.
It's just, well, and with Nia in this match, she is just awful on the mic. They got to stop letting her talk. They got to find a manager for her or something. She could be, the best thing she could do is shut up and just go out there and beat people up and get some sort of manager to be her mouthpiece. And she just doesn't talk because it's so unconvincing. Her physical status, her and the way that she works can work, but it's like any mystique about her being this tough, unstoppable force is immediately dispelled as soon as she starts talking on the microphone. It's just the worst. It's just the worst. Now, that's not why I think she's going to lose, although it doesn't help. I mean, you got all these girls in the Elimination Chamber fighting to go to WrestleMania, right? And who do you think they would rather face? Nia Jax or Rhea Ripley? I mean, if you're going to get a win at WrestleMania and take the belt, you want to take it off of the baddest woman in the division. And I'm sorry, Nia Jax, she's gotten a couple of wins with, squashing a few people, but Rhea Ripley's on a whole other level. And so there's just no way they've taken Rhea Ripley this far for her to lose the title of the Elimination Chamber. So that's all I've got to say about that.
Well, I'll agree with you on pretty much everything there. I won't go the route of it doesn't matter to me what the other competitors, who they want to face at WrestleMania. WWE does not want to put Nia Jax as the main event female in the match.
Right.
Rhea Ripley,
Right.
built up, as you said, they built up Rhea Ripley. It's her match to win or to wrestle at WrestleMania, which I'll get into who she's going to wrestle in a little bit. But she's going to win this match. We are agreed 2 for 2 so far.
Yes.
All right. Let's go with the men's match. We got Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and Logan
Paul.
Well, I think I'll do that.
Well, you never know. I'm not happy about this prediction, but I do think this is where it's going. I think we're looking at Drew McIntyre walking out of the Elimination Chamber with the win, going up against Seth Rollins. He's the only heel at this point, or the most heel for the most part outside of Logan Paul, who I don't think they're going to give the main event at WrestleMania to yet. You know what I mean? He's still United States champion. He doesn't, they're not going to do that soon. I think we're probably looking at like Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, or Logan Paul and someone else in just a separate match for the US title. I mean, so that just eliminates him right there. Orton is two-face right now. Not two-faced, but he's too much of a face right now to get a good rivalry going between him and Rollins. And the same thing with LA Knight. If LA Knight's going to go into the main event at WrestleMania, he's got a lot of momentum. He's doing fantastic. Everybody loves the guy, but he doesn't have Mania momentum going at this point. You know what I mean? There's been no build up and you're not going to just throw them in the mix at the last second, a month out or a month and a half out, whatever it is from Mania. Who else is in there?
We got Orton, Lashley, Knight,
Lashley,
Orton,
yeah,
and Paul.
Lashley's just same thing. Yeah, Lashley, same thing. He's got no story, no momentum, WrestleMania wise main event going for him. McIntyre, on the other hand, has been bitching about WrestleMania and having his moment again and all that stuff for months now, and annoying the piss out of everybody doing it. So people will be cheering for Rollins. They'll definitely be hating on McIntyre, and so based on that, I'm going with McIntyre for the Chamber.
Well, once again, we agree. I immediately eliminated Owens, Logan Paul, because Logan Paul's not going to win it. LA Knight and Lashley. Well, Lashley, okay, first of all, take Lashley out. I eliminated those three because I think they're filler.
Yeah,
No, I mean, no offense to them, all solid wrestlers, all could have wonderful careers.
there's just and Owens. There's no story there to be had right now between
Right.
him and Rollins. I mean, like all of these guys, you'd have to like start from scratch right
Yes.
now and build some momentum up to it by the time you get to Mania. There's not enough time. McIntyre, this has been going on forever. So, and people would be happy to see him either, get shut up or whatever, but at least, you've got a dichotomy between the two guys. It's too much of a gray area between all the other ones because Rollins doesn't really have any particular heat with any of them.
Well, I think you could go off of the past or just on their characters and have Orton or Lashley. I think either one of those
If
could
you had to,
possibly
you
do it,
could, but I
but
think given the
yeah,
options, yeah.
I think Drew McIntyre is easily the best option. I got him winning, as do you. Once again, we agree, 3 for 3. Let's go for the women's match. This is the one I'm really looking forward to. We got my gal Becky
Yeah.
Lynch, against Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez.
Now I will say this is a very well booked match.
Love this
Everyone,
one.
every one of those girls. No, you're right. This could be one of the best. It could be the best match of the night. I mean, like every one of those girls are solid. Even Tiffany Stratton, who's the newest in the bunch. I've been very, very impressed with her from NXT, up until now when she just came to the main roster and everything. It took a little while to get used to her gimmick because I was just like, she's such a good athlete. Why does she have to play this airhead, type thing?
Right.
But I feel like she's getting a grip on it. She's honing in on that character and she's making it work
Yes.
because, I mean, athletically speaking, I mean, she is good. She is really good. However, this is not her time. She's not
Too
going to
soon.
Mania. Yeah, so that's that. Naomi just got back into the mix. Same thing. It'll be great to see her in there. She'll put on a hell of a show, but I don't see that happening. We got what? Shayna Baszler,
Raquel, you got Raquel.
Raquel. So Raquel Rodriguez, I'm telling you, will be either in the final two or maybe final three. Like they're pushing her, and her time is coming, but it's not yet. I could see her maybe at with a SummerSlam victory or something like that for the title, but not Mania. But she's going to get a good showing in there. She's a big girl and strong and very, very solid in the ring. So I'm a big fan of hers as well.
You got Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair and Becky Two Belts or the man.
So Bianca, I think we're all just kind of like Bianca'd out right now. Like she had the title for quite a while. She's had it at Mania, I think the last two Manias. So I just don't see her going into that. Liv Morgan, not Mania ready, and she's definitely not going to be the one to topple Rhea Ripley, not at Mania at least. So, which leaves but one, and I'm sure that we're going to probably be agreeing on this one as well, and that is the man, Becky Lynch. And I refer back to our previous episode, why she was my pick for the Women's Royal Rumble, because the marquee alone sells it, and that is Mommy versus the man. And that's, I guarantee you, after Elimination Chamber, that's all you're going to see between now and WrestleMania. Mommy versus the man. So I'm going with Becky Lynch.
I do like that you made Bianca a verb, though. It was
Well,
well
yeah,
worded. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
No,
I like this match. All six of them. If WrestleMania wasn't, right in front there, if this was just an elimination chamber to win, blah blah blah, the outcome could be totally different.
oh yeah, then it would be yeah. It
Then
would
it's up for grabs, I think,
right,
except for
right.
maybe Bianca for the reasons you stated. No offense,
Yeah,
great wrestler. It's just she's
no,
got to
but
take the back burner for right now.
she's gotta let someone else have some time now. So
Maybe she comes back as a heel. But I agree with you about Tiffany. Brilliant future, just not now. It's a little too soon. Naomi, I'm a little lukewarm on her right now. Raquel, like her, don't see her. I don't see her. I don't have her in the final three like you did. I have the final three being Becky, Bianca, and Tiffany actually, and then I have Becky and Bianca, and then I have Becky winning it. So we are 4 for 4.
now let's remind everybody of where we stand with the scores now because we haven't caught up on how
Well, you
the last
you
one.
yes, all time.
Royal Rumble did not go well for me.
Right. Okay. Of the last 3 years, I don't have the year by year stats. Of the last 3 years, you won two of the last three. You are up
Yeah.
by a few all time. I forget how many. I think it's like five or so all time. I'll put it up on the screen. But this year, 2024, thanks to the Royal Rumble, I have 3 wins. You have one.
So I'm trailing by 2 right now.
And you're not going to catch up with this one.
And I'm not making any headway one way or the other on this one. So we're
No.
either both right or we're both wrong. But
Now, do you have any thoughts on Seth Rollins and Cody and this little
Grayson
interchange?
Waller effect.
Yeah.
Uh my thoughts are I think that's gonna be like that's the bathroom break for the episode for me. I just don't care. It's just building storyline. They're trying to have Seth Rollins has been talking to Cody Rhodes about like, okay, here you go. You're going to finish your story. You're going to go see Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and face him for the title. This is your, second and last chance to get to do it. But what are you going to do different this year than you did last year? Because what happened last year? The Bloodline came out and they ruined the whole thing for him. And what's to stop them from doing it this year? Not to mention that now they've got The Rock with them on top of it. And so Seth, throwing in a callback, said that he would be willing to be Cody's shield. And so he's offered up, not just, and I don't think that means at WrestleMania necessarily. It's between now and then, because Cody had a match this last week, I believe with Drew McIntyre actually, and the Bloodline came out and cost him the match and messed him up. And if they keep doing this and beating him up week after week after week going into Mania, his odds, of course, are going to be less. And at some point, it ain't going to just be Solo and Jimmy. It's going to be The Rock coming out there too. So I think that the Grayson Waller interview is just going to be all about that. And I think that Cody will probably finally accept the help of Seth. And then who knows? Maybe Seth does get involved in the match somehow at Mania. I mean,
Or do you think Seth is building him up to turn on him?
I don't see any reason to, because Seth has nothing to gain by it.
Get a
He's
spot.
he's got Seth has the title. I mean, there's no reason for him to extend himself to anybody at his own personal risk. You know what I mean? Because if he's going to put himself between Rhodes and the Bloodline, he's risking himself for it. So
Right. So what does he have to gain by helping Cody?
because he wants to see Cody beat this guy. He's got beef with Roman Reigns. He's had enough, and he wants his original thing with Cody was he wanted him to face him for the championship on Raw, because that was the working man's championship basically at this point. Now Cody has decided to go after the Universal title, which means that he can take that title and redefine what it is, which it severely and sorely needs, because it's worth nothing at this point. It really isn't.
Agreed.
But he can take it and make it worth something. And Seth's angle is that he believes in bettering the company and the betterment for everybody, and that the only way, he said, because he told me, he said, if you lose this, that's it. The bloodline just goes on forever, and those belts will never leave, and that's just the end of it, And honestly, he's not wrong.
No, and we all fear that. Good God.
And all of us, we're all dreading that. Yeah. I think it's going to be a hell of a match. I mean, no matter how it all shakes down, I think there's going to be a whole lot of people out there, and it's just going to get nuts at Mania. You're talking night 2 WrestleMania, the Rock, if Rollins is involved, because Rollins could technically, if he's defending the first night, which is most likely, then, assuming he's in okay shape, there's no reason he couldn't be out there on night 2 to help out Cody in his match and stuff. So, you're talking about Rollins, you're talking about the entire bloodline with The Rock, the Universal titles are on the line. Cody's trying to finish his story. I mean, that's a big main event. So,
and let's not forget the Blue Meanie's out in Philadelphia. Shout out to Blue Meanie. Maybe he'll, show up and interfere.
Yeah, he'll be the difference maker. Yeah,
I love the Blue Meanie.
We all love the Blue Meanie.
But here's a question for you too, because you have the inside track. Any chance of Erica St. Vaughn being in one of the pods?
No, and in all fairness, I think that Erica St. Vaughn, as much as I love her, I don't think that she would quite hold up against the other competition in that. I think if you're going to switch out anybody, maybe Liv Morgan. Erica St. Vaughn's got much bigger back and shoulders, and she's about 230, solid muscle, and but maybe next year.
I'm gonna keep my hopes alive that someday we see an Erica St. Vaughn appearance.
You and me both, buddy. So
well, that wraps it up, man.
That's it. I mean, as far as we know. So, I mean, we obviously record these before the final SmackDown, before the pay-per-view. So there, who knows what could change, but I think everything we're talking about is pretty solidly set. And, clearly we're in sync with each other on that.
Good God, we agree.
Yeah. So you want to take us out here, buddy?
With that, enjoy the pay-per-view. Check out Everyday Fan Sports to see what anybody else, see the outcomes, see how Tommy and I did. Make your pick, see how you guys do. You won't do as well as I do. Or, unfortunately, this time Tommy will do as well as I do, but I'll still have the lead for the year. So with that, I thank Tommy, who else, for accompanying me on this journey through wrestling. Enjoy the show.